So in the last video, I turned myself into Avatar from The Last Airbender, but it wasn't nearly as disturbing as what this video is gonna be, because this time I'm transforming myself into classic Christmas character, the Grinch. But first, we need to take a picture, so let's do it right now. So I'm actually trying to replicate this pose. I honestly have no idea how I'm gonna... I need the mug as well. Okay, I got a bunch of photos, but I don't know. I feel like I need to take another one just with my face because I can't really get the expression right.
A few moments later.
My face hurt because I do all those expressions and it hurts. Yeah, I think I got all the photos I need. Let's go to the Photoshop. What am I doing with my life? Okay, let's do it. I was a little too far away from the camera and my face got a little blurry. So yeah, I took different pictures of my face. Let's take this one, start with my eye, copy that onto another layer, do that with the other one. Now Grinch's nose is like a dot. I guess we'll have to make it work somehow. Okay. Just like this. Let's take the eyebrow as well. Same goes with this one, like so. Maybe do something like this. Yeah, that's perfect. Let's wrap this video here. Let's warp it, I guess. Oh my god, what? Okay, let's actually take a stamp tool. So I'm gonna take this sample of this area, paint over my eye, just like so. Out the eyebrow, just like so. Let's fix some of those spots. Oh my god, and let's do this. Just gonna liquefy it. Oh my god. Let's do the eyes, I guess. My Photoshop crashed. Let's put the eyes in place. Actually, I'm just gonna put it right here. And this one, I'm gonna put it right here. And we will need a liquefy. Oh my, let's start with this one. Where does his eye end? Okay, right here, so we push this. Okay, let's press OK. And oh my god, this looks very interesting. I'm gonna copy it onto another layer. And I have to remove this one. Paint this iris away, just like this. Maybe let's clean the insides of my eyes well. Okay, let's add an exposure adjustment layer. Maybe get some shading on there. Trying to make it a little bit, tiny bit realistic. Just a little bit. Let's take the iris and put it in place. Like so. Yeah, that's actually not bad. Let's make it green. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, so the dark thing of his eye is a lot bigger than mine, so I guess I'm gonna have to draw that as well. Yeah, not bad. Okay, we just need some highlights. We just need some details, I guess. Yep. Okay, so let's blend that eye into this monstrosity. Actually, I'm thinking maybe I should cover the whole thing with one tone. Yeah, that's better. That's a lot better. Here's before, here's after. Yeah, that's a lot better. Let's just do this and blend this in. Yeah, that's okay, I guess. Nope, come back. Ow, it hit me in my eye, bro. What the hell? So yeah, let me finish it with a voiceover and I'll get back to you guys. Ow, you mother... Alright, here we are. Let's continue. Right now, I want to do the same thing I did with the other eye. I'm gonna erase the pupil, just like this, and draw some shadows around to make it more realistic. Now using Liquify, I'll warp it just like that, and oh my god, this looks so cursed. Let me fix some of the details real quick. Now let's smooth the edges with the mask to blend it into the skin texture. Next, I'll take my picture and select the pupil from it and position it just like the original. Using a mask, I'll reveal it in the eye socket just like so. Alright, looks decent. Now let's move on to the nose. Oh my god, what the... Anyways, let me use my warp tool. I'll shape it to match the original, erase the edges with the mask, and there we go, a Grinch nose. Kind of. Yeah, it looks fine, if I do say so myself. Now, onto the lips. Oh my god, I look like I had a very bad lip surgery. Anyway, using liquify again, I'll warp them into place. There you go. I can't say it looks good, but it'll do for now. Next up, eyebrows. Let me take my right eyebrow, put that in place, and you guessed it, liquify again. I'll warp it into position, erase the edges, just like so. Yeah, that looks way better with the eyebrow. Now for the second one, I'll do the same thing. Warp it into place, clean up the edges. Yep, that looks fine, I guess. For the fur on my face, well, I mean Grinch's face, I'll use a picture of my hair for this. And oh my god, I have no idea how I'm gonna do this. But I guess let's just trust the process. I'll start by positioning the hair texture and then warping it to kind of fit the original. Then I'll just copy it around, warp it to match the position, and I'll do the same thing around the whole face. Now let's blend everything together using mask, erasing the edges to make them smoother. Yeah, that looks okay-ish. With the hard brush, I'm gonna draw a little outline, kind of a guidance for myself, just so I could know where the hair should start growing. Let me turn it white so it's easier to see. Using the hair texture I merged earlier, I'll erase everything inside the guideline. Now with a soft brush on the mask, I'll soften the edges a bit more. To make it look even more realistic, I'll use my hairbrush and erase the edges. Well, now it actually looks like it's growing out of my face and head. For the tuft on my head, the little pappus, whatever you want to call it, maybe a top knot. I'll draw a shape with a pencil to match the original. I'll create a solid color shape, then clip the same hair texture onto it, and using warp, I'll adjust the texture to fit the shape. This doesn't seem right. I'll use my mixed brush tool to smudge and refine the details. This tool works like a smudge tool but a bit more intense, I think. I'll add a few details with a regular brush, smudge them with a mixed brush tool, and shape the pappus further. Honestly, I don't even know what this thing called in English, but while I was rambling about that, I already blended the hair textures together. Now let's fix the eyebrow. It's looking a little thin. I'll go inside the smart object, and with my hairbrush, I'll draw some more details. There we go. Heading back to the top knot, I'll add highlights and shadows for more realism. And to blend it even more, I'll add some noise, just a tiny bit in the monochromatic mode, and that's a lot better. Since hair isn't perfectly smooth, I'll draw a few stray strands outside the solid color. These imperfections will help to make it more realistic. And while I'm at it, let me also smooth the hair texture on my face. Now back to the eyebrow, I'll add some more details to make it thicker. Then for the face hair, I'll use a furball picture I found online. I'll warp it into position and reveal it on the edges of the head, and then blend it with the hair texture. With the hue and saturation adjustment layer, I'll match its color with the face hair. I know it's not green yet, I just want everything to be in place before adjusting the colors. It's easier to spot mistakes that way, and well, it just makes it easier. Time to fix the edges of the furball. Photoshop selection was a bit messy, so using the hairbrush, I'll just draw some hair. Now let's finally turn myself green. I'll use hue and saturation adjustment layer for this. I'll adjust the tones, lightness and saturation for each area since one flat color would just look weird. I know we're making a weird picture, but we're not making it that weird, you know what I mean? I'll darken the nose to match the original and erase the green from the pupils and eyeballs since they aren't green in the reference. For the top lip, I'll darken it because, well, it's dark in the original. I'll also add some shadows around my eyes to blend them better. Then I'll draw ambient shadows on my face to give it a rounded 3D look. These include shadows for the areas under the eyebrows, the little lines between the nose and lip. I will blur these shadows slightly and erase the edges for the natural look. Now for the highlights, around the nose area there is a small highlight blob in the original. I'll create that using exposure adjustment layer and feather the edges in the mask properties. And that already looks more dimensional. The eyes though look a bit weird, so let me fix them. And for that, I think I'll create my own iris. First, I'll create a circle and fill it with green color. Then make another circle, turn it black and make it a little smaller. and then adding highlights and details with light green and black. There you go. Now let's put that in place, and that looks way better. Let's add some depth for the hair by drawing some darker lines. I'll go all around the face with shadows to make the hair more realistic. Same goes for the eyebrows. I'll darken them and add some more details. And for the top of my hair, I'll clip an exposure adjustment layer and add some highlights to mimic the lighter streaks on the Grinch's hair like the original. Not sure what those streaks are, but they're there, so let's recreate them. Alright, finally, let's do the body. And with a pencil, I'm gonna chop myself into pieces. First the arm, then I'm selecting my torso, and then the other arm, and of course, the legs. Let's start with torso. Oh my god, that looks perfect already. But the Grinch is not as fit as me. You know me, I'm a macho. So, sadly, we have to warp my body to make it, fatter, I guess. Let me put the legs in place. I'll come back to them later. Oh my god, this looks so cursed. Wow. You can thank me later for ruining your childhood. Let's warp the torso a bit more and turn it green right away. Now with the fur ball thing, I'll warp it around my body and stitch two balls together. As you can see, Grinch's hair kind of flows downward, but with fur balls, it's all over the place and I had to warp it and stitch them together. To fix it, I'll use a color mix brush tool and draw a hair path and clean it up with my regular brush. Now let's sculpt the body shape with a mask. I'll add a neck, clean up the edges, and voila! Next, I noticed my eyes aren't purely white, they're kinda yellowish, and that looks weird. I know in Jim Carrey's version, Grinch had yellow eyes, but in the animated one, they're not, so that's what I'm going for. Alright, now let's draw some hair outside my body to make it more realistic. Just like that. Looking clean, looking green. See what I did there? Okay, I'm sorry. Quick shadows for the neck, but I'll erase a little bit on the edges for lighting. Moving to the arms, I'll disturb the first one and make it green with hue and saturation adjustment layer. Now, I don't know why my hands look so veiny. It's kind of badass, but not for Grinch, so let me erase the veins and blend the arm to the body with a mask and my hairbrush. Now, I'll add a subtle shadows where the fur meets my hand because, you know, realism. On to some highlights, super low-key but subtle. Just some quick brush strokes with my hairbrush. Yeah, that looks weirder than I thought, but hey, works for the video. For the other arm, I'll liquefy it to make it skinny like Grinch's. Then bring back the mug hand. I'll mask, blend, and turn it green, but not the mug because it's not green in the original. Adding subtle highlights and shadows to match the lighting. Done. Alright, time for the legs. Same process, warp them into place, liquefy for the shape, and I thought to myself that keeping jeans would be very funny, so guess what? Grinch gets pants today. For his feet, I'm not sure what they are, but I'll just draw cone shapes and then add some shadows. Instantly so much better. I'll also draw some subtle shadows and highlights on the jeans to make them more cohesive. Now let's make those shapes nice and furry, just like I did with basically every picture in today's video. Same thing with my trusty hairbrush, and I'll also do that outside the picture to make it nice and fuzzy. To finish off the body, I'll warp another jeans picture around my belly because, you know, I'll make the jeans green, but keep the belt and details natural. Mask the edges and add some subtle shadows. And now we're officially done with the Grinch part. Now let's quickly do a background and I will get back to you. Grinch using Photoshop. And since it's Christmas, Merry Christmas, you guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and comment down below your thoughts. Then I will see you next year.